Good morning, my lords and ladies. My name is Ray, and please allow me to entertain you on my topic of metalworking. More specifically, the creation of a chainmail coif. You may ask, what is a coif? Well, a coif is a close-fitting cap that covers the sides, top, and back of the head. So, now that we know what it is, how do we go about making one? But, more importantly, how do we go about making the mesh for one out of metal rings? But let's go back for a bit. Say we don't have these metal rings. Alas, what do? It's easy. We make some. Research has shown that blacksmiths use a tool called a mandrel to spin metal wire into a spring. These springs were then cut to make rings. So, I'm going to demonstrate with my extremely easily done mandrel tool. All it is a stick with a hole in it. And I have some wire right here. So, what we do, put the metal wire in the hole and spin the stick. It's very advanced stuff, I know. They'll say we want 5 or 6 links. Well, that's good enough. So what we do next, get some wire cutters, cut the end, and cut this end. Or pull it out. There we go. So now we remove this spring. Put the mandrel away. And as you can see, it's pretty much a spring. So what we do now, take the cutters again, and we cut into the spring. As you can see, we now have metal rings. They look very similar to the rings I had before, except a little bigger. So, now that we have our rings, well, now that we have better rings, what do we do with them? Well, in order to make any form of this mess, we have to apply a pattern to it. The pattern I'm talking about is the 4-in-1, the European 4-in-1 pattern. As you can see, for every one ring, there's 4 that go through it. This pattern can be continued all around it and it would still keep the 4-in-1 pattern. So I'm going to emulate this pattern onto this to make a mesh, or to start making a mesh. So I have my paper clip. This helps me at the very beginning with holding on to the initial few rings. So I have one ring, I close it. I call this my base ring, just simply because it's the first ring in the mesh that I make. Next, get 2 more rings, attach them to the base ring, close it, another ring, put it through the base ring, and close it. So as you can see, it's holding pretty much very close similarity between the 4-in-1 ring and the base ring with the 2 rings under it. See, there's 1 ring here in the middle, 1 ring, 2 rings under this one, 2 rings under that one. So we continue on working with it. Another open ring. Attach it to both of them. Oops. There we go. And close it. Next ring, we put it through the edge, just holding one of them. And close it. Now you see we flipped the ring over, so now the ring I put on the right side is now on the left, in perspective to me. So now we go on the other ring, it only has one, and put another one in it. Ow, that hurt. Again, I would recommend wearing gloves whenever you work with chainmail. Okay, so let's continue. This time I won't put the rings on, I'll just show you how they go. The next one would have 4. There we go. So this would be connected to the outside ring. These two would be between those two. This next one would be between these two, and this one would be on the outside. So you can see the 4 and 1 holds true to this pattern as well, because 1 in the middle, 4 rings, 1 in the middle, 1, 2, and the 2 would be connected rings. And then eventually you start working with it enough, you get awesome patterns like this. You can keep building onto it. I'm going to stretch it out a little bit to show you the mesh. You see this everywhere, it's a 4 and 1 pattern. This ring in the middle, 1, 2, 3, 4. Any ring, 1, 2, 3, 4. Even the outside ring, if you add more, you have 2, you just add 2 more, it still retains the 4 and 1 pattern. So I'm going to let myself get back to my presentation, and good luck, Ray.